Okay, let's go to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, where we had a new witness by the label Witness G. And she happens to be a member of the intelligence community. When I heard that, I was like, no. You guys already know my feelings about witnesses that come from that part of our safety and security. I don't think anybody that works at intelligence should ever be a witness, especially in the public view, because they hold very fundamental and sensitive information. Sometimes the questions in a setting like this one, they are intrusive, especially during cross-examination. One of the things that I was unhappy about with the ad hoc committee is when they would have people like Witness G and they will continue interrogating them in the public space. When either you don't have them at all, but they're important because we are seeking the truth, or you hold them in camera where we don't get to hear and see, so that the panelists are also comfortable and free to ask them any question and every question, and they're all sworn to secrecy. Every one of them sworn to secrecy. Now, how do you swear South Africans in our tens of millions into secrecy? And why would we also, you know what I'm trying to say here? So I knew that we are going to have stop and goes, stop and goes, stop and goes, because some of the things that I don't know, I didn't see the Witness G's statement. But come on, one has to use this, and you think to yourself, what could it be that Witness G would have said that was not going to touch on the sensitivity of her duty as a ghost? That's the question I was asking myself. And then I started asking myself about the panelists being the commissioners themselves, like, Justice Madlanga, type of thing. But then I also understand that he has to give leeway so that he does not seem to be controlling. And also, the evidence leader must do their job as well. Like, hey, listen, we have a witness. The witness is a sensitive member of our society. This is not no ordinary person. So in the beginning, of course, he would have to do his job. That is why when it got to the point where things were getting a little intrusive, he needed to know, what is the way forward? Do we continue with the lead? And if we do, things will have to be revealed, things that are sensitive and also could identify her, because she's anonymous, including the commissioners today were anonymous. So for me, it was nerve-wracking. And when the first hiccup happened, I was not surprised. And in my head, I'm like, at some point, they're going to have to stop this and then take the witness in camera because of the nature of this individual. So, okay, we know that, well, sounds like she's a member of the ANC, or she used to be a member of the ANC, but we know cater deployment. And from what I'm picking up, it is her ghosting job on Brown Mokhotsi and some couple of people. So I think she came to tell on Brown Mokhotsi. Who is Brown Mokhotsi? How they have been following Brown Mokhotsi, with whom Brown Mokhotsi was working with, and what they found about Brown Mokhotsi. That's what I picked up. I could be completely wrong. And to me, I want to know who's Brown Mokhotsi. And many South Africans want to know who Brown Mokhotsi is. And finally, we get somebody who knows everything we do, including what we ate this morning for breakfast. Or at least that's what I think they ought to know. So they would know who Brown Mokhotsi is. And if you've been around here, You've heard me ask questions about where the people like Witness G have been when South Africans are getting kidnapped. Those are crimes that you can intercept easily. But no, where was she? And her colleagues. We get phone calls to try and scam us about our bank accounts. If it's not our bank account, our booking details. If it's not booking details, what do you call this? Hacking of our bank system. All of those things, the lady who is a witness today ought to have intercepted. So where have they been? I am very unhappy with the South African intelligence. When it used to be National Intelligence Agency, oh, it did a lot of work. It intercepted, it kept us safe. Then when the name changed to what it is now, South African Security Agency, things just went south. And the question is, who's running these things? And what interest do they have in the crimes that we have in this country? There has to be an interest. There was an uprising in KwaZulu-Natal, July 2021. Something that could have been stopped was not. Where have they been? Where do they go to? But I know I digress. It's because this is a very sensitive issue because it involves our national security. We have illegal foreigners in the country. This is something that intelligence job to make sure that the country's national security is not jeopardized. These people come in all forms of experiences. Some are former members of terrorist groups in Somalia, Ethiopia, Nigeria, DR Congo, and everywhere else, but they are right here. And do you think their nature has changed? No. They threaten us with those experiences of theirs. Some of these people are former child soldiers from West Africa, Central Africa, everywhere. We are sitting ducks, and this is the job of intelligence to have stopped. They should have went to Home Affairs and found out what is exactly going on. And the officials that are busy taking money from illegal foreigners, they ought to have long time been arrested and this whole thing curbed. Why? Because we got intelligence. Border Patrol, same thing. Why? Because national security is very sensitive. You have one person that is illegally that comes into the country, we are already in danger because of one person. One. Can you imagine when they are in their millions? Again, you have to ask where the intelligence has been. Suddenly, Kumbutso Chabeni goes to Foslorus, and the first time in my entire life, I hear that she is the Minister of Intelligence. I'm sorry, what? I always thought that you were a minister in the presidency. Like chief of staff type of situation. I was shocked. Shocked. And I'm sure every South African that understands this were probably shocked too. Or maybe I'm the one who's living under a rock with no Wi-Fi. And everyone else knew that Chabeni is Minister of Intelligence. Yeah. So the point that I'm trying to make in this video is that this witness was not supposed to have been known to us today. They're supposed to have told us the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry is continuing, but it's in camera. We quickly would have figured it out. Oh, that means either the witness is a member of intelligence. Because it made no sense to me. Absolutely. So the Madlanga Commission was going on and off, like the stop and go that I did predict was going to happen. Eventually, they had to adjourn today's, they did not adjourn because now they transitioned from public hearing to now in camera with Witness G. So I guess in the background, that is exactly what they are doing because she is not going to answer some few, like basically her statement, it's not for the public. And I'm uncomfortable whenever a member of the intelligence comes and testify in public, because at some point there are things that they shouldn't tell us, they end up telling us. And I don't want to be party to that. Not everything we should know. Not everything we should know. That's my take on that. So I don't know, what are your thoughts? There's something that I said in a live yesterday, and I would like to just scratch the surface of it, not get deep into it, because I already created videos on this. They are on my channel. They were posted somewhere around mid 2024, 2025. I don't remember, where I said it's time we took matters into our own hands in building us as a people, and stop every time we look at the government and blame the government when we actually have the resources. We got human resources, and in that human resources, we got people that are sitting at home with degrees, people that understand management, consequence management, and risk management. People that are accountants, lawyers, engineers, teachers, you name it. They are all sitting at home unemployed because the government decided they are not good enough. And the moment they turn 35, they are useless. So, of course, what we need to do now that illegal foreigners are going home and we are going to reclaim our spaza shop industry. Yes, it's an industry worth 35 billion rand. That is what these Somalis have been taking. And that 35 billion rand was not pumped into our economy because they were not paying taxes, let alone registered as taxpayers. So, what do we do? Because we cannot leave these spaces vacant or in a vacuum. We need to be proactive. And the first stop is not buying from them. That's the first stop. Close the tap of what they came here for. They came here for money. So close that tap, because when you close that tap, they get frustrated and they are not making any profit no more. What that is going to do, it's going to force them to pack up and leave. It's going to force them to pack up and leave, even though they still have to go. Whether now or later, now they got to do it. But you as a South African do not support them. All of them. Some of them say we don't know how to create our own traditional attires. Like, we don't know who has been doing it all this time before you came to South Africa. So boycott that. Boycotting needs to be in the fabric of our DNA going forward. That also includes elections. If you're not going to serve us, we are not putting you back in power. That's not what we're going to do. So we need to learn and adopt that culture. It's a powerful tool, guys, that we hold. I think we underestimate ourselves. And the reason why we underestimate ourselves is because we don't get taught these things. IEC has a responsibility of empowering us with information about why we should vote. And on top of that, tell us how powerful we are. The Freedom Charter does tell us, but I don't think we understand the insight of the Freedom Charter. The people shall govern. Who govern? What is a government? A government is power. So if you shall govern, it simply means you are powerful. The government, the official structure of government, fears you. I'm going to play you, I hope I remember during editing, a video of a Black American lady that I hope you will understand. I have posted this video before, but I want to do it again so that you understand how powerful you are. Everything that she says is exactly what every government that is a democratic country is afraid of. You, the people.
So I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Because I know that there are three things that the government hopes that you will never figure out: the patterns, the power, and the cracks. Because if you ever connect the dots, if you ever stop seeing every crisis as isolated and start recognizing the system underneath it all, it's not just awareness, it's a threat to their control. So here's your reminder: the patterns. It is the same playbook every single time. They don't invent new strategies, they just recycle the old ones, just updated for the moment. Surveillance went from wiretaps to the Patriot Act to AI facial recognition. Redlining didn't die. It became zip code-based school funding, an algorithmic lending bias. The war on drugs turned into mandatory minimums and stop and frisk policies. And now, they're rolling it all back under crime waves and border threats. They rename oppression faster than they can ever reform it. And when we do catch on, they dress it up as national security or public safety. Pattern recognition is survival. Number 2 is the power. This is why they keep us distracted. You're not powerless, you're just deliberately overwhelmed. They flood you with headlines, crisis fatigue, and fake choices. Because if people ever stopped arguing and started actually organizing, all of this shit would collapse. You think they're scared of voters? No, they're scared of coordinated strikes, though. You think they care about tweets? Try mass disruption. Every time we've made real progress, labor rights, civil rights, voting rights, it only came after the system was made uncomfortable. That's why they pay influencers to sell apathy. That's why they dangle identity as a wedge. Because divided people don't demand change. They just debate each other. They don't care how loud you get as long as you stay disorganized. Number 3 is the cracks. This system is not stable, just heavily guarded. They act like it's unbreakable, but it's not. It's fragile as hell. But held together by guns, propaganda, and fear. Corporations loot openly, but you're scared to miss work. Cops beat protesters and call it crowd control. The same law they use to prosecute you, you can use to gum up the system, but nobody teaches you that, right? And here's the part they really hope you don't say out loud. When people start acting like they've got nothing to lose, the system listens fast. Nobody's glorifying violence, let me be clear. But let's stop pretending that peaceful protest is the only language that this system understands. Fear doesn't move them. Consequences do. They don't fear you knowing the truth. They fear you acting on it. They fear you connecting the patterns. They fear you linking arms instead of debating. They fear you realizing that this system has holes, but only if you know where to look. So this is your reminder: you're not crazy. You're not paranoid. You're paying attention. And once enough of us stop waiting for permission to fight back, that's when the balance will be forced to shift.
So that's where the human resource also comes from. The power you and I hold. The third power that you and I hold, as little as it is, I must send it to. Whether you're getting the 370 Rand a month or you're getting childcare grant, old age grant, everybody wants to improve the lives of South Africans, particularly those that are vulnerable. This does not exclude the poor whites, the poor Indians, the poor coloreds. As long as you're a South African, you can contribute something to, and no, before you come at me and say, but who do we trust? It should start at community level. You know in your community who are the graduates that are sitting at home and honest, smart, and visionaries. We started small. At some point, we are all going to meet somewhere and make it a national thing. Just, I haven't refined it just yet, but I think I did refine it in a video that I posted mid 2024, 2025. It's just I'm lazy to go down that rabbit hole, but at least I want to plant a seed for you guys. When you are having discussions amongst each other, you plant that seed and see what you guys do. Amongst you guys, you are natural born fashion designers, natural born seamstresses, natural born stuff that the illegal foreigners had hijacked from you. But I know I have it in that video. I just want to let you know that we need to start thinking and also studying this method of these illegal foreigners? How did they manage? Where they get the money from? And why is it that somebody comes from Ethiopia today, tomorrow they already have a spaza shop? What exactly is that? They are manufacturing goods that they're selling to us and killing us. We need to learn how to make those things, how to get the machinery. And by the way, these days, I will tell you a story about me before, but you will get the link to what I'm saying. Growing up, I used to love sweets, and I used to love chappies, chewing gum. And I would even pick it from the floor, from somebody else that So that's what I did. I told you guys I was a naughty kid, okay? So leave me alone. So one day at primary school, I think we were in grade 4, if I'm not mistaken, and we were taken to a sweet factory. Just up, it was between downtown Joburg and Fortsburg, almost like near I don't know what that street called, but like end of Johannesburg. But it is between downtown Joburg, like after the bridge, that bridge, yeah, there was a sweet factory there. So my school took an excursion to a sweet factory. I was so excited. I was like, oh my goodness, we are going to eat so much sweets. And then when we got there, the machinery that makes sweets, you literally go like that. Your entire neck is looking at everything that's going on there. Tell me why I stopped eating sweets the moment we left that factory. I don't like disgusting looking things. I don't eat jungle oats. I don't eat bananas. I don't eat avocados because of texture. Especially isn't a nyamfugayo. That like, oh, I cannot. I cannot. So as I was watching, I had my face like this the entire time as the sweet is getting made. But I was also focusing on the machines that was doing this. So there are people that can watch YouTube videos and see how sweets are made. But where do they get the machinery? How much this machinery? And then a community is known to make sweets. How ama disco pops are made? Ama keep. There's a machine for that. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just giving you the things exactly what they are doing. They sit down and watch a YouTube video how to make those chips. They shape them exactly like that. They go buy packaging or they buy a machine that prints that. And then when you think you're eating Doritos, I think it's Doritos, yeah, that. You think you're eating that. Biscuits, you know, they sell them in these big drums. The ones that you buy when when there's a funeral or there's a wedding, you buy it from all my friends. The machinery to make these things. Hey, you watch a YouTube video because that's what they also did. They even had the audacity to create Coca-Cola. This is what I was taught about Coca-Cola. And it is, I think, those that know. Do you know that Coca-Cola has 7 ingredients? And these 7 ingredients, the formula, the people that hold the formula, 7 of them, they live in different parts of the world and they don't even know each other. That's how much Coca-Cola is protecting its ingredients. So now how did they figure the ingredients? So clearly they had probably litmus tests that is able to divide chemicals that put together what a Coca-Cola is, and then they sell it to us. I mean, sometimes when you drink, you can tell, why am I drinking chemical? You can literally taste a chemical. But I'm not saying do that. It's wrong, it's illegal, and it's infringing on property rights. Not property right, intellectual property rights. We're not going to do those. But we need to learn how we're going to be suppliers of our spaza shops. And that is going to need us forming these, I don't know what they used to call before. Oh, when South Africa changes things. They used to be Okay, I don't know. I'll check what they are called. We just need to be proactive, okay? Let's be proactive. Let's learn from these people. What their method is, how they become successful and made 35 billion rand from us with our 350s. And we must also open ourselves up for social activities. We know families that, our own people, grandmothers that are taking care of children, they don't have food. We need to have these manufacturers of ours making sure that those families, they have food. So that's what we need to do. Salons, they bring have food from their own countries, the ingredients. We need to learn those ingredients and manufacture our own. The last black person in South Africa that I know of that created his own health food products is Herman Mashaba, black like me. Does it even still exist? So why don't we go to Mr. Mashaba and say, sir, teach us your ways? That's what we need to do ourselves. Sifaka Imali together, we don't go and ask NYDA or government, 500 million rand, gone. Gone, 500 million rand. But if we are the ones that are collecting it in our own communities, and this community is known for, and this community supplies the next community, and that next community supplies the next community, can you imagine? Nobody is thinking about manufacturing. Oh gosh, so many things. So many things. Look around your house. Ask yourself, how did this come about? You sit and watch some YouTube videos, and then you learn how much the machine is, and then go to your community, hold a community meeting, and say, guys, this is going to help us all. Let's contribute 10 rands or 100 rands or whatever the case is every month until this machinery and this spot. Because all of us in our townships, we have these open spaces where we go and dump things and stink up the location. We clean that out and build a nice factory, and the people of the community, they are the ones that work there. Obviously, the first 2-3 years, it's going to be on a stipend basis. But as long as the machinery is there, and then we set up offices that are going to be run by people that have the qualifications to run these things. That's all that I wanted to say. As I was saying yesterday in my live, but I said I was going to make a whole video, but then I realized I do have those videos. They're about three years old, if I'm not mistaken, if not 4 years old, on this channel. We can build our own schools, guys, our own schools. Again, we got these open spaces. The municipality might come and say, this is our property. Then we say, we'll lease it from you then. But we are going to build here a recreational center. We are going to build a school. We are going to build amphitheaters, maybe whatever that is needed in that community. There are people that are talented, that are actors, singers, musicians, instrumentalists. This community is known to be producing musicians. This community is known to be producing actors. This community is known to be producing film directors and all of that stuff, script writers, you name it. Guys, this government, I know what it did to us. It dumped us all down from thinking outside the box. It wants us to be like this at it all the time. Skangezile. We can do this on our own. And you know, when you do this on your own, you guard everything that you've done together jealously. You're not going to allow anybody from anywhere else in the world to come and penetrate your community. Uzofunani. And we will be known. If you go to South Africa, you are going there to visit. You're not going there to stay in those communities, because we will be having our own things. We will be running our own things. We have a lot of people here in our township. That's how we get rid of unemployment ourselves, guys, on our own. We just contribute. We listen to people like Usis Anele Hammond. She is thinking, in fact, the ball is already rolling on a university. And that universities will be kikliza, the very people that are going to come back to our communities to even advance more of these businesses of ours. Uhulumeni will say, Tina Sonhlanganani at the vote. At the vote. And we must never allow politicians to get themselves involved in this. It's ours. Because the moment a politician comes in there, the politician is going to want to sell us off. They'll come and say, hey guys, let's say we have a very successful sweet company or a sweet factory that manufactures sweets. And some Chinese somewhere in Asia hears about our sweet factory. They speak to the politician and say, hey, take it, here's 100 million rand. I want that sweet factory. And then they come to you wearing suits. Hey, Bahlali, yes, Bahlali, you know, you can make. Do not involve politicians. We are going to lose what we have built together. We can do this. We can revive the economy of this country ourselves. But if these ones are ignoring us and the government ukubi kandalake, let's do it, but we exclude them. We don't go to no restaurants, no fast food restaurants at the end of the month. Why? Because we have our own in our townships. New names will be popping out. You know how the American economy was built? The reason why the American economy became a superpower, they went through hell and back in the 1930s. From 1929, they had the Great Depression, Black Friday. And then came my US favorite president. I don't care what you say. Franklin D. Roosevelt and the 5-year plan. I know somebody's like, but the 5-year plan, he stole it from somebody else. But what matters is he implemented it. To this very day, big names like Rockefellers and what have yous and Rothschilds and all those people that today wants to control the world, they were born out of that 5-year plan. Your McDonald's, your Kentucky Fried Chicken, all these big brand names, Bill Gates Software, or Microsoft. 5-year plan. So we need to visit the Franklin D. Roosevelt 5-year plan. See what can we use to advance us, the ones that are left behind by the government. Is that difficult to do you think? I don't think so. Because we do get money. Oh, yes, we do. Alcohol. Who manufactures our alcohol again? Thank you. Yeah, it's Rupert. In your household right now, 75% of all products that you put in your mouth and eat belongs to Johann Rupert. The alcohol you drink, yeah, Johann Rupert. The tin stuff that you make chakalaka with, Johann Rupert. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to think, how does it do all that? Without going to ask him. You look at the ingredients. Chakalaka is ours, but why is it in a cool can when you are at ShopRite Checkers? How did Rupert know this? Why am a Pakistani and Somalis and all these people now benza amakot, amakwinya? Because they learned all these things from us. I'll leave this video here. Think about it. And the rest, So tolane voting when we remove them. And we are going to put in place people that are visionaries. I preach this all the time on this channel. Visionaries, people that have the intentions of taking South Africa forward, not people that wants to be served first. And we should make politics in South Africa unattractive. Because when it's unattractive, it will attract the people that are called to lead. In South Africa, poor and broke, and you are on a parliamentary list or councillors list in the respective political parties, and you get elected, you wake up the next day, you are a multimillionaire. Yesterday, dead broke with 0.00 in your account, and suddenly you get elected as a councillor. Suddenly now we are reading numbers that we can't even read. That's why they fight over and even unalive each other. Today we have PKTT for that very reason, because they know I'm uneducated, I have no skills, I don't have this. All that I have to do is have a loud mouth. Have a loud mouth and say what the people want to hear. And then I'm in council. Nkosi yami uzokhombisa ama-flames gebhula from your funds. Put it in a pocket, give to family, give to girlfriends. It's enough. It's enough. It's absolutely enough. Anyways, guys, I gotta go. I got a lot to do. Now that the Madlanga Commission for Inquiry is adjourned, I think I can get a lot of work done today. And maybe we'll talk a bit later. Goodbye.